Like a pimple on prom night, Hillary Clinton has exploded back onto the scene, just in time to help ruin the midterms for the Democrats. Hi, everyone. I'm Guy Benson in for Kennedy tonight. Thank you for watching. So Mrs. Clinton seems to be resurrecting her infamous deplorables attitude and broadening her sneering even further. Bold strategy. As we all recall, Hillary is gloriously 0 for 2 in presidential elections. Obama beat her back for the nomination of the Democratic Party in 2008. Then Trump beat her for the White House in 2016. But she did win a New York Senate seat a few times. So I guess she thinks that qualifies her to inveigh against the electorate, which she does somewhat frequently. Last night, she went on, where else? MSNBC, to talk with a notorious conspiracy theorist and phony victim of hacking about her party's chances next week. And she borrowed a playbook of her own from 2016, telling voters that they don't really fully understand what's happening around them. Watch this.
I think with all of the noise that we've got in this election season, I don't think people are able to really grasp that. But more importantly, I'm not sure they really understand the threats to their way of life.
There's so much noise. The threats to their way of life. Measured, sensible as always. But what arrogance? Voters look like they're preparing to back Republicans all across the country because they're unhappy with what's happened to their way of life under total Democratic control. But of course, comments like this are not exactly new for Hillary. Let's take a little trip down memory lane, shall we?
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
A lot of political analysts would tell you that that quote right there inflamed her opposition, harmed her chances of winning that election, which of course she lost, and now she's back to her old tricks. As a matter of fact, what we saw in that interview this week was even worse than that. That was like the deplorables were just like a small part of the electorate. This is the entire American electorate. They just don't really know. They can't understand what's happening, according to Mrs. Clinton. Now, the election is just 6 days away. How does this play, if at all? Let's get into it right off the bat with our party panel, starting with Jason Rantz, host of The Jason Rantz Show, KTTH in Seattle, former State Department spokesperson and Fox News contributor Marie Harf, and conservative strategist and Z-Lab's vice president of PR, Chris Barron. Jason, let's start with you. Will you join me in urging Mrs. Clinton to give more interviews as a motivating force for Republican voters and conservatives?
I think it's very important that she speak out because democracy is on the line, and it's insane that anyone doesn't realize that. Of course, voters know exactly what's on the line, which is exactly why they're going away from the Democrats. It turns out life under Democrat rule means we are less safe. It is so odd for someone like Hillary Clinton or any Democrat to pretend that we don't know what's on the line when they've been gaslighting us for the last 2 years. There's no crime crisis as crime goes up. There's no border issue. It's totally secure as we have days worth of videos of people crossing the border. Inflation is transitory, except transitory, I guess, means for a very, 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 very long time. We know what's going on here. It's absolutely absurd. It's transparent. And frankly, it's just not a smart strategy. It doesn't make any sense to me that they're going out there and telling us what everyone is experiencing isn't happening. Because it's not like something that cannot be seen. If you say something about like some economic data point that is very esoteric or very hard to follow, we're not going to be able to tell. But when you tell us inflation isn't real, when you tell us that the crime crisis isn't happening, we just look at our own lives and we say, yeah, it is. You're lying. We're going to move on.
All right, Marie. So Jason thinks this is bad strategy by Hillary Clinton, telling voters they don't understand what's happening. They can't really grasp it fully. What do you think?
Well, Democrats do know that inflation is a problem. They do know that crime is a problem. And I know everyone loves to talk about Hillary Clinton a lot on this show, but the fact is she's not on the ballot anywhere. What she's saying is that under Republican control, Social Security would get cut, Medicare would get cut, your prescription drug prices would go up, that Republicans would do things that made your average everyday life much harder. And they don't have a plan to fix inflation because you know what? Inflation is a really tough problem that is going to be solved over many months and years. And so I think there are a lot of people who don't understand the stakes in this election. We have 300 Republicans, Guy, running across the country in races up and down the ballot who are election deniers, who don't think that Joe Biden is president, and who have pledged to not verify or certify future elections in which Republicans lose. So yeah, actually, I think it's not hyperbole to say this is a big election and maybe everyone should pay a little bit more attention. That's not like a crazy controversial statement, Guy.
Oh, she said our very way of life is like on the line here, Chris. A lot to unpack there. Your reaction?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, as you pointed out of the package there, like this is not new for Hillary. I mean, I do have to give her credit, though. Like it's a real interesting strategy to attack voters. I mean, we've seen for decades people going at each other, politicians attacking each other. It was a really novel idea to start attacking voters. And unfortunately for Democrats, it's not something that has begun and ended with Hillary Clinton. Tonight, Joe Biden is going to be attacking, Republican voters, the mega, MAGA, super MAGA, whatever. Like, this is something that has infected the Democratic Party. Instead of being able to appeal to voters, make a case about why their policies are better, instead they spend all of their time not just demonizing Republican policies and Republican politicians, but demonizing voters. That, to me, seems like a very bad idea if you want to consistently win elections.